Hi there. So today I think I'm going to take you around and just show you all the things that are blooming. And we had a really strong storm come through the other day with like tons of rain. I think we got like 7 inches of rain. So my Annabelle hydrangeas are like but they're still pretty, but I just want to show you what they do when they get really wet and the rain kind of sits on the heads and they just droop. I don't mind it because they usually, once it dries off, they pop back up, but I did want to show that to you and to show you all the other things that are blooming, because a few things have kind of started and some things are already on their way out, and so I'm like, I gotta show these before they're gone. But anyway, yeah, so let's get going and hopefully you enjoy it. Okay, let's go. First, I have to show you my really pretty big begonias. So this is why I just love planting big begonias. I know that begonias are kind of like an older plant and they're not very like new, up and coming at all, but they provide so much color. So when I planted these, the leaves were brown, and now the leaves are almost turning red themselves. So not only do they have really pretty red flowers, the leaves also turn red too, and so it just provides so much color. And I have them all along this little walkway right here with my boxwoods. And then over here, I just love planting in red, white, and blue. I don't know, I just, for one, because I'm really patriotic. My brother's in the army and I love doing things that kind of remind me secretly of him. But I also just love red up against my house, and then just I have some white diamond snow, I think, euphorbia in here. I plant this in here every year, just 3 little clumps, and it does really good. These Easy Elegans roses have been blooming for forever. I have to, well, you can tell they have because I have dead blooms I gotta cut off, and the bugs got to it again, but I'll just come out here and spray it and we'll be fine. But yeah, these Easy Elegans are awesome. They bloom for so long once they start, and you don't have to deadhead them in order for them to keep blooming. They will just keep blooming anyway. It does look better when you deadhead them, so I will come out here and do that. And I've got some Remember Me hosta in here. These are Piglet Fountain Grass, my Annabelle Hydrangea, and you can see that one over there is kind of flippity-flopped, but it'll be fine. This tree, I gotta cut those suckers off at the bottom, but I have some Halcyon hosta in there with, I think, plum pudding, heuchera, the purple, catching fire, heuchera, and pumpkin spice heucherella. Oh, the catching fire is a heucherella. But anyway, yeah, so that looks pretty good. And then down here, my astilbe are blooming. Aren't those so pretty? That is Visions in Pink. I love that. We cut back my Gila. Oh, this one is just flopping like crazy right now. It will stand back. I mean, it still looks pretty, but it will stand back up once it dries out a little bit. Let's see here. We got some stained glass hosta down here, and those are about ready to bloom. So, speaking of hosta blooms, I have a question. Do you guys like it when hosta bloom, or do you hate it? Like, I feel like you're either on one side of the fence, like you're like, ugh, my hostas are blooming, chop it off. Or you're like, oh, it's a pretty flower bloom on my hosta. Like, that's kind of how I am. I love it when my hosta bloom. But I see so many people out there that are just like, they just can't be bothered with the hosta bloom. And so I'm just curious. So if anybody's on the side of the fence where you hate hosta bloom, please let me know why. Okay, back to the tour. All right, so these Annabelles are falling over a little bit, but they're already starting to pop back. Like that one right there was completely fallen over and it's already popping back, but I just don't mind it. I've got some elegans hosta in here and then some primo black pearl heuchera right there. Same thing over here, primo black pearl and elegans. That hydrangea is flapping over, but it still looks pretty. These, I'm gonna insert a little video right here. These are kind of on their way out. These are bridal veil astobi, but they looked a lot whiter a couple weeks ago, and yeah, I'll tell you that in a second. Anyway, that is a Sum and Substance hosta. I had seen one of these in my Aunt Mary's house, I don't know, before, like, I think right after we built our house, and I said, what is a hosta? I gotta have one. She said it's a Sum and Substance, and next time I was at the store, I went and bought one, and I've been splitting it ever since. I have some over there, and then some up in the gully, but anyway, that is, I don't remember what kind of heuchera that is. Maybe fire alarm? I don't know. Alright, so these pots right here are all plants from my yard. I shopped my own yard. Well, except for the impatiens. My sister grew me those. But I went shopping in my own yard last year and created this pot, and these two plants came back. They overwintered. This is an Obsidian heuchera, and this is a Southern Charm heuchera. And they came back, and I was so excited. I just plugged some impatiens in there. I think there's some more popping over on that side, and it's so pretty. Then my sister got to go to a Walter's garden tour, and they gave her a free Brennera, and this is an evening gown heuchera that she got for free, and then this I just pulled from my yard. And then the impatiens she got me. So these are two planters that were basically free. Just shopping my own yard. Let's see. What was I going to tell you about this? Oh, so I'm probably going to get people that are like, no, don't do that. But this is also another question I want to ask you, because the other day I'm on this like shade garden group on Facebook or something. They show like tons of hosta and astobi and everything. Well, some lady, she just didn't have the heart to cut back her astobi after it quit blooming. I'm gonna cry. I don't know why. This is so funny. And so she spray painted them like purple, and they looked amazing. I was scrolling through and I was like, purple astobi? And I clicked on it, and then she said, I didn't want to cut my astobi off after it bloomed, so I spray painted it purple, and it looked really cool. But then I'm just like, is that gonna like ruin the plant? I don't know. So I'm just throwing that out there. I kind of toyed with the idea of doing that, spray painting them white, but let me know if you know that, you know, don't do that. That's gonna ruin your plant. But I'm not opposed to trying it. So right now we are, let me flip you back around. Alright, so this area over here I'm not going to show too much because it's kind of a construction zone behind me. I'll show you it sometime, but we're in the middle of getting a deck built around our pool. But this is a, oh, well, that's a weed. That's a weed. And that is, I don't even know, wild berry or I think wild berry heuchera. Anyway, this, I'm gonna insert a little picture right here because I gotta show you what this looked like when I planted it. So I originally had it planted up there in like the full sun, and it was dying. And I was like, I want this to succeed. So I moved it here, and it has just taken over. Thankfully, I have this edging in. You can't even, so it's like holding it back. But man, it just loves this spot right here, and my husband says it's his favorite plant in the whole yard. He loves it. Anyway, coming up here, I planted some impatiens, some pink and red. Let's see here. That is heuchera, I can't remember. And then I just have a bunch of hosta and more heuchera in here. And here, let me back up. I believe that's a whirlwind, Minuteman. Got some more impatiens in there. This one right here is a praying hands. I planted that last year. I transplanted that blue mouse ears from over in my Gully garden. These are Captain Kirk, I believe. And if anybody knows what that is, I don't know, is it a Dream Queen? I don't know. But yeah, and then I have an Astobi in there. It's kind of hiding. It's really pretty, but I might move it because you can't really even see it. And this is just a Japanese maple. Over here, I got some, oh, these are blooming. I didn't even notice. Some more Visions in pink. These are more Bridal Veil. It's kind of not as far gone as the ones we just seen. We have some Halcyon hosta right there. Let's see, I think that's a Golden Tiara. These are Cherry Truffles, I think, heuchera. Another Blue Mouse ears. Some more, oh, these are really cute hosta. I love these. These are called Curly Fries. Isn't that pretty? Just lots of good stuff back here. I'll tell you about this section of my garden sometime. Then up here lining this little pathway, I've got some Carl Forster reedgrass. Got some Primo Black Pearl. I planted some blue fescue grass in here one year and it like keeps reseeding itself everywhere. I literally have to pull it out everywhere. Like there's 2 of them right there. I mean, it's pretty, but it just kind of takes over. This is an American Beauty berry. It gets really pretty purple berries in the winter. And they're already starting to form, which kind of makes me sad because that means we're already in July. And then, oh, my nieces and nephews, they always paint me like rocks and stuff. So I put those in my garden. This is a work in progress. This is kind of one of my like dumping ground beds. I just dump things in here that I get on clearance and see how they do and move them if I need to. But that orange, I don't know, is it Cheyenne Spirit, I think, is doing really good. And I think it might be reverting back to its original, right here, color, because it's so tall. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm talking about, but that's what I think in my head. Okay, and then this is a Monarda. I have some nice weeds in here. And I had really pretty Siberian iris that I just cut back and some poppies. See, that is a flax. It's about to bloom. Some sedum. It's just a hodgepodge of a bunch of crap. Over here I have Nephofia red hot pokers. And this is kind of cool because, so this plant bloomed first. You can see the spent blooms already, but it's putting on so many more blooms. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then these ones are going next. This one hasn't even put hardly any on yet, just 2. But these are just such a cool plant. I love these. And then the thing I love about these too is when they're not blooming, I probably said this a million times, it just looks like an ornamental grass. So I really appreciate that. This is a weeping cherry tree that I gotta probably prune up here quick. And then I just threw some big begonias in here, and then I have some random perennials. There's that grass actually reseeded itself right there. That blue fescue, I was like, okay, you can live there, that's fine. Some lavender, some heuchera, and then I just have some sedum right here, and a weed. I didn't come out here and pull weeds or anything. This is real life, so. But I try to put like a little rock board around that just to keep it in check. Oh, you guys. Home Depot was having 50% off. Not that, I've had that. But I got all this stuff for 50% off. And I had a $50 gift card. But we'll come back to that for another time. We're getting a little out of control. So under here, this bed has been a work in progress. I first started out just around this little maintenance area and planted just these 3 grasses. These are little blue stem grasses. And then I just needed more space to plant things. So I continued it right there. And then the next year I came in and put that in, the little rock area, and I thought I was done until my husband was like, I really hate mowing in between here because I blow grass. I had that tree and it was, I had mulch around it, and so this was all grass, and he's like, I hate mowing because I blow grass into that bed and then blow grass into that bed. Can you just cut that out and make it a garden bed? And I was like, of course I can. So that's what I did. I got my shovel, I started digging the sod, I dug up all that sod myself, and I made it into a garden bed. So it's kind of been a work in progress. That's why it's kind of like a hodgepodge of different things. Okay, I'm interrupting the regular program here. I was all done with this movie and I was putting it all together, and then the middle chunk of it, you could hear this almost like a scream noise the whole entire time. It's literally the whole time. I think it's my neighbor's blower. That's what it sounds like when he's blowing, and I had to delete everything. So I don't know where we left off. This might be a hodgepodge of a tour video, but whatever, we'll figure it out. All right, we'll start here with these Christmas tree hostas. Here I have 4 Christmas tree hosta, and they're so cute. I really love how they're in a nice little mound. They kind of do like a circular mound, which I don't really see a lot of hostas do. And then I have my geraniums over here that I got for super cheap. Some first frost hosta. I think that's an evening gown. Heuchera, some little blue stem, another first frost, and then some volunteer cleome popping up. This is really cool. I'm excited to show you guys this once it blooms. So this is called a croquisma or lucifer. It's really neat. And then these are just Siberian iris, and they already bloomed, but I love these because when they're done blooming they just look like a ornamental grass. And then in here I have some heuchera, some weigela, and some winter creeper. Around here I have some indigo charm petunia, which I don't usually plant petunias, but this color I thought would look really good in here. And then aligning the back there, I just have some junipers. So yeah, that's that bed. And then my red, white, and blue bed is looking really pretty. I do need to come out here and deadhead some of these white geraniums here. But yeah, see that begonia leaf? It's turning red just like the flower. It's so pretty. It's almost like glowing. And then we will go over here to my island bed. And so this island bed here, this is one of the first things I planted when we moved into our house after we built it. And those 2 river birch trees there, those were so little. They were $10 a piece, and they were so small that I fit them both in my tiny little car and brought them home. And now we've since then just this spring, we had to extend this bed out, so we added about 4 feet all the way around. And we came in here and put these candy corn double play spirea. Those were $5 a piece on clearance at Home Depot this spring. I planted a bunch of big begonias. I've got some grape expectation heuchera in there and a bunch of weeds that I gotta pull, but this is real life. There's some hosta under there with some Hakanakloa grass that I transplanted from my huge patch in the back. I have 3, I think that's Lo and Behold butterfly bush, and those are blooming. Those look pretty. And then these are starting to bud up. These are Bobo hydrangeas. I have 2 of those. 1, 2, and then behind there I have 3 Carl Forster reed grass. Now I have 6, what is this? Frozen margarita hosta. And I dug up 3 hosta from like one of my, I have a bunch of beds in the back of my yard that are kind of like dump beds because I get a bunch of stuff on clearance, or if I split hosta or whatever, I just throw it in those beds until I need it. Well, I dug up 3 of these and split them into 6 and planted them all in here. So that's what that is. Now we'll go down to the Gully garden. I just came out here the other day and planted some grass seed finally on this path. And this sunflower is getting huge. The bird dropped me that off. I want to get out here and cut back this lamb's ear, but there's so many bumblebees in here. And I really don't want to bother them. They're everywhere. Yeah, so my begonias are looking good. My cleome is starting to bloom. The other day I transplanted some of this volunteer cleome over in here because I do have sunflowers planted in here, and some of them are popping up. You can see, but just in case the rabbit comes and eats them, or somebody comes and eats them, I don't know. You guys seen me plant this the other day. If you watched, I just plugged in some annuals here. Some coneflower, hydrangeas blooming, my rose. Oh my gosh, you guys. He's back. Hey, buddy. He's just a baby. Hey, bud. Let's see if I can get close. Hey, buddy. See if he'll be my friend. Hi. Oh. Yeah, I planted some pretty verbena in here and some big begonia and some euphorbia, and it's looking pretty good. Still some color on these delphiniums. Once these are all done, I'm gonna come in here and hack those back, and then they'll bloom for me again. These Incredible, I think I called them Invincible last time, but I think these are Incredible hydrangeas. They're supposed to be like a new and improved version of the Annabelle, and they don't flop over when it rains. And it's true, they haven't yet. But it's looking pretty good. I won't take you through here because this movie is probably getting really long, and maybe we'll come in here and talk about all these hosta. I would love to talk about all these hosta with you and all my different plants I have. So yeah, we'll do that sometimes. I did fix my rock path the other day. And some of my red impatiens are blooming. I planted these the other day and they're doing great. I feel like they've already gotten bigger. And then I transplanted these because they weren't budding up, or they weren't blooming, and now they are. So I think they like it here a lot better. More coneflower. Lupine are continuing to bud up and bloom. I think they like it here so far. I gotta come in here and cut those back. What the heck is that? Like, who did that? Oh, you guys. Probably the chipmunk. Oh, that Astovia is still blooming. And I just love these cute little hosta. Those are called blue mouse ears, and they are blooming right now, obviously. Isn't that so cute? Look how little they are. The squirrel finally stopped knocking this thing over. It's starting to look good. I just pulled this Goldilocks out of my yard and planted like 3 impatiens in there. But it's doing really well. I planted these the other day, the colorful annuals, and they are actually opening up a lot more. The New Guineas are. And then, you guys, do you think that this is really bugging me? I bought these and they all had the same tag and they look the same, but these two look the same and that one looks different. And it's really driving me nuts. I want to pull that out and find another one of those and put that somewhere else. Anyway, these annuals are looking great. I just love the color here. So pretty. And then I cleaned off this pathway the other day too. So it's really looking nice. And then I think what I want to do in here is, so you don't even see it, but I have really pretty Woo La La hosta back here. I have 3 of them. There's one there, and then there's one back there, and then there's one in there. That one's not so bad, you can see that one. But I was thinking about moving these 3 Annabelles back, just so that you can see the hosta better. But I don't know, maybe we'll come out here and do that at some point. Down here I have 3 Great Expectation hosta. I wasn't sure that they would get that big. They're kind of covering my little bird bath, but I kind of don't mind it. I don't know. What do you guys think? You think I should move them somewhere else? Put something shorter there? And then I have some fern along here, and then these are super cute hosta. These are called Wrinkle in Time. and they're little too, like the little bunny, and they are starting to bloom. Oh man, these are so pretty when they bloom, because this bloom is like a really deep purple. I'll have to show you. And then over here, these are all hosta that I transplanted from other hosta on the other side of my house. This is a big elegans, and these are 2 Francis William. Got an instant karma elderberry back there, and then 2 black beauty elderberries. Yep, these are pretty big. And then these are just some hellebore in here. That is a Fire Island hosta, and this is an Empress Woo. I planted this Empress Woo. My husband bought it for me last year at this giant greenhouse, and it was in a 4-inch pot, and now it's that big. It's huge. Okay, now up here we just have some impatiens, some blue fescue grass. That I took from the other side of my house where it kept reseeding, and I put it over here. And I'm pretty sure that's poison ivy. Oh, I gotta get the Roundup out. And then I have hellebore around this tree. That's a giant summon substance. Some more annuals. Boxwoods around here, some sedum, hellebore, and some blue Hawaii hosta in here, and then just some heuchera and autumn frost. All right, we're gonna go back to earlier in the day before my neighbor started his blower. We'll see you there. And this pot I have to show you. Hopefully it's not my imagination, but that heuchera is turning more orange than it was when it was in the shade. So I'm pretty excited about that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy just walking around my garden, seeing all the things that are blooming right now. Oh, hold on. I see one more thing. Hold on. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh man, so pretty. And then this, I think this is a denim and lace Russian sage. It's starting to bloom. I just planted those delphiniums in there. And then I have these silver gumdrop heuchera kind of lining this whole property line with some limelight hydrangeas and Cleveland pears. But I'll just show you this real quick. This is just my little vegetable garden. And yeah, I'll just be honest. Obviously I have issues with animals around my property, and the rabbits like got to my plants really early on, and so I was just like really discouraged. I kind of like threw in the towel, and I was like, I can't be bothered with this right now. Just focus on my flowers. But they are starting to pop back, so I probably shouldn't be so negative about it, but there's a chipmunk. He made a hole in my little compost pile. Do you see him? Up to no good. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed kind of walking around my garden and seeing some of the things that are blooming, like these really pretty astilbe right now. And I also do just want to say thank you. Oh, I'm like getting emotional. Just thank you to all the new people that are here. I really can't believe it. I think there's like over 1,000 of you now. So I'm kind of blown away by that. I'm a little speechless. So thank you so much for watching. And sorry, I just kind of started this little channel just, to be honest, I wrote a song for my brother who's in the Army, and I put some pictures to the song and I wanted to send it to him, but it was too long of a video to send, and so I created a video on YouTube, and then I was like, that was really fun. So I started making videos of my garden, and that's how it started. I literally haven't told anybody about it except for my immediate family. Anyway, long story short, I appreciate everybody that is here, and yeah, anyway, thank you so much. Bye.